Hello, and welcome to another installment of Good Morning Curry. I'm Mike Lacerte.
And I'm my mama's son, Connor Clougherty.
Okay, we start today's off with the news from the world of video games. The classic game, Final Fantasy VII, has just been re-released on the Nintendo Switch, and fans are ecstatic. The Final Fantasy franchise has been around since the late 80s, and is a fantasy RPG where the player is immersed in worlds where magic and technology often mingle together. Many consider Final Fantasy to be the best in the series for its plot, lovable characters, excellent gameplay, and exceptional boss battles. Let's look at the trailer for the game. So, Connor, what do you think of this release on the Switch?
I think it's really cool. I think it's awesome when they bring back like old classic games and kind of reintroduce them to a new audience and revamp the graphics.
Yeah.
And kind of update the system. I think it's really cool when they do that.
Yeah. Do you think you're gonna play it? Do you have a Switch?
I don't have a Switch, unfortunately.
Yeah, me neither.
But if I ever get the chance to play it, I would love to.
Yeah.
I love those kind of RPGs, turn-based combat. I think those games are really cool.
Yeah, I would be very intrigued by it too, because I've never played Final Fantasy VII. I've played some Final Fantasy games, like another one people consider to be the best is 6, and I've played 6, and I love 6, and I think it's fantastic. So I'd be curious to see how 7 fares up, because a lot of people do love 7.
Yeah, I've heard great things, and I feel like this is a perfect opportunity for you to get back out there.
Absolutely.
You know?
Not only will this be a great experience for old fans, this will give new fans a chance to experience such a classic game. Recently, there have been other titles of the franchise announced to be released on the Switch in the future, including Final Fantasy X, 12, and 9, the latter of which is already available. Final Fantasy VII is available to get on the Nintendo eShop, so check it out when you've got the chance.
In recent movie news, the new Captain Marvel movie came out, and fans were buzzing about it. CC8's own Henry Perno saw it and wrote a review for us. He writes, "The 21st entry into the MCU is a marvelous blast of the past. It has its flaws, but it's still a good time at the movies. The story flows well and mostly makes sense. The movie has a good message about getting back up on your feet in the face of adversity. But the twist comes in the second half, could have been cut deeper to the protagonist than it ultimately does. The visual effects were a little heavy on the CGI with terrible lighting in the one fight sequence. The best effects the way they de-aged Clark Gregg and Samuel L. Jackson to look like younger versions of the characters. Phil Coulson and Nick Fury for the entire movie and not just a flashback sequence, like other movies with similar effects. The soundtrack wasn't as memorable as others in the MCU flicks, but there's one song that feels consistent with the themes of the movie. With all that in mind, I give this movie 4.5 Henrys out of 5. If your goal is to get your sci-fi fix or build hype for the Avengers Endgame, this is the movie for you."
Have you seen it yet, Connor?
No, I haven't had the chance.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm not a huge fan of like superhero movies.
Oh, gotcha.
But I think what they did with this one and all the hype around it with Brie Larson being Captain Marvel and all
Yeah.
that. I think she did a great job.
Yeah, no, I got a chance to see it over break, and I thought it was really good. It was really
great.
entertaining. It was definitely also very funny at points. I got a kick out of how Nick Fury lost his eye. I'm not going to spoil that for anybody
Oh, good. I
who
need to
hasn't
see that.
seen it.
I need
I
to see
won't
it.
say what happens, but you'll be thoroughly entertained by
I've
it.
always wondered how that patch came up.
Oh, I thought it was great.
I also heard it has a lot of like references to like the 90s and
Oh
all that.
my
'cause that's where
God,
it takes place.
absolutely. There's
Yeah.
a part where she like falls from space into a blockbuster.
Classic.
And it's so great.
Blockbuster. I love it. That's funny. In music news, Los Angeles-based indie rock band Wallows recently dropped their highly anticipated debut LP this past week titled Nothing Happens. With 11 songs on the track list, filled with teen angst and poppy anthems, this is the band's longest release to date since they burst onto the indie scene in April of 2017. They have an upcoming tour spanning many venues across US and Canada, and will be performing in Boston at the Paradise Rock Club on May 10th, which I will actually be attending, so I hope to see you there.
Oh, lucky.
Now, we know how much our audience loves to see us dance, so let's check out a single from their album called Are You Bored Yet?, featuring fellow indie star Clario. Who knows? Let's take a listen. I'm ready.
Just getting prepared.
What's wrong? You've been asking, but I don't have an answer. How come? I'm still thinking, let's pretend to fall asleep now. When we get old, will we regret this? Too young to think about all that shit. And stalling only goes so far when you've got a head start. 'Cause we could stay at home or watch the sunset, but I can't help from asking, are you bored yet? And if you're feeling lonely, you should tell me before this ends up as another memory. Will you tell the truth so I don't have to lie? Will you tell the truth so I don't have to lie?
Feels like I've known you my whole life. I can see right through your lies. I don't know where we're going, but I like to be by your side. If you could tell me how you're feeling, maybe we get through this undefeated. Holding on for so long.
'Cause we could stay at home and watch the sunset, but I can't help from asking, are you bored yet? And if you're feeling lonely, you should tell me before this ends up as another memory. Will you tell the truth so I don't?
What a jam. What a jam.
Oh, yes.
What a jam.
Very, very nice.
Incredible. I can't wait to see him. I'm really excited.
I'm excited for you.
Thank you. I'll let you know. I'll let you know.
Definitely. All right. Hopping over to pop culture news, American Idol recently got quite a pleasant surprise in the form of a wedding proposal. Contestant Joanna Jones made it to the top 40 of the competition with a stellar performance of Chris Isaac's Wicked Game. However, she was in for an even better news when her boyfriend appeared, mic in hand and box behind his back. He then proposed to Jones, who could barely say yes between the sobs of joy.
Wow.
One of the judges, Katy Perry, was sobbing herself, happy for the couple and most likely reminiscing about her recent engagement to Orlando Bloom. We here at Good Morning Curry give a hearty congratulations to the couple and wish Joanna luck during the competition.
Yes, good luck.
Definitely.
That's one of my favorite crying faces I've ever seen in my life.
yeah,
That is a meme waiting
Wow.
to happen.
wow. Oh no.
Incredible.
Oh no. Oh,
Katy Perry's career is over.
Pretty much. You know what's going to happen.
I love it.
All right.
That's funny.
So we'll conclude we got one more story to conclude for. The future of grocery shopping is now with robots. Recently, Delhaize of America has been releasing these new bots to help with store cleaning and customer assistance. Named Martin, or Marty for short, these robots go around the store looking at all sorts of hazards for customers, such as aisle spills and maintenance work, which allow customers to steer clear while staff can work. Due to the positive outlook on these new additions to the store, Delhaize intends on deploying over 172 Martys all across America. What's your take on these robot helpers?
They're really creepy, if I had to be honest. I was in a store back in my hometown. I was in Star Market, and I saw one of these War of the Worlds looking boys with googly eyes come going towards me, and I was terrified. I thought like the robots were taking over. There was no announcement. I didn't get the email, you know?
Yeah, I know.
Scary stuff.
It was one of the weirdest things I ever heard. I used to work in maintenance at a Hannaford supermarket. And to think that those robots would just randomly like
just coming around wherever.
Yeah. Also, they're robots. They look more like Zumbas with.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. At
holes
least,
and eyeballs.
You know, make them a little more friendly, maybe a little more welcoming. I mean, you got to think of the kids. You know, I mean, a lot of. Well, I was super.
I
would shop
I
with my
will
mom,
give it credit because I see what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
And it is a clever idea.
Yeah, the practical side of the machine, I think, is good. So not all our human workers or whatever have to look for that kind of like minuscule stuff. So I think it's good to have another pair of eyes, technically.
Yeah, it's got some practical use, but in execution, it's kind of silly.
Yeah, maybe add like a wig with the googly eyes. Maybe that might help just a little bit. You know?
Absolutely.
But
all right.
I don't know.
Well, that's all we have for you today. Thank you for joining us on another episode of Good Morning Curry, and we'll see you next time. I'm Mike Lacerte.
And I'm Connor Clougherty. Goodbye.
See you later, guys.
Feels like I've known you my whole life. I can see